Shout out to Rebel Life. When I woke up this morning, the first video I watched on this subject, I'm going to add my 2 cents in. Terence Crawford is made a statement where he said the fans are fools if they think Errol Spence ducked him. And I'll say this. If Errol Spence didn't duck Terence Crawford, right, was ducking the bowing of one head to avoid an object, he damn sure weaved the fuck out of it, right? Whatever Errol Spence do, the little elbow block, he elbow blocked the fuck out of this fight. He high guarded the fuck out of this fight because he was doing something. He was complicit. Now, I believe personally that this has always been Al Heyman's plan. And not only do I believe it's Al Heyman's plan, I'm not saying Al Heyman was wrong. Hear me out. As bad as I wanted to fight, I'm not saying Al Heyman was wrong. Al Heyman had a bunch of guys that simply didn't pan out, right? You had Adrian Broner, who was supposed to carry the torch. He dropped the fucking ball. You had Keith Thurman, who was supposed to be that guy. He dropped the ball. You had Gary Russell. They used to brag about, oh, man, Gary Russell got the fastest hands in boxing. He gets beat up by Lomachenko. You got Deontay, to this day, Wilder, who gets his ass beat by Fury. You just had a whole bunch of people just not make it. Floyd Mayweather even had his own separate stable that was kind of tied to Al Heyman, the money team. And I made a video before, and I called them the waste of money team. Because all they did was step up and get their ass kicked. The only two that survivors from the old guard was Tank Davis and Bottle Jack. I think those are the only two guys to smell a title. Were Tank Davis and Bottle Jack. A lot of, man, the amount of prospects. I'm talking about, oh, this guy was good in the Olympics. I mean, the amount of prospects that just didn't pan out. At some point, Al had to put his foot down and say, enough of this, goddammit. It's either in-house or you ain't fighting, right? I gotta be in control of this matchmaking. Because if I'm not, my whole fucking company go under, right? So what ends up happening is he gets all reliable, and that is Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he sends him across the pond to go get Sean Porterbelt back from Kell Brook, right? And then he puts him on the Keith Thurman payment plan. You go fight Keith Thurman, old opponents, and that's how we go build you up. Fights guys like Leonard Bundu, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. Hell, he was even about to take Keith Thurman L back from Manny Pacquiao until his eye got injured. Terence Crawford was a wrench in that plan. And they knew it. This undisputed guy moves up from 140, trying to challenge old reliable. I'm not taking that risk. Not right now. Right? Not right now. So the fight gets delayed. And Errol is complicit. Even though it was Al playing. He said it. Errol said it. This is who Al told me I'm going to fight. Crawford. Did he mention me? Errol. No, he did not mention you. Errol even said it. This is nothing I'm making up. Right? Once the well ran dry at the PBC, Errol Spence realized, I got to get my money. Errol Spencer said this. Oh, a lot of guys are broke. A lot of guys in Hall of Fame are broke. Errol is trying to get his money. And I made a video about this, about the A side. When I spoke on Errol Spence, and I said, hey, for him to be the A side, right? And I even Googled his net worth. And I said, you know what? Let's multiply this. Google don't know what the hell they're talking about. Let's say Errol worth $17 million. Floyd made damn near $1 billion. And you made 17 and you want to call yourself the A side? I said, you need to get out there and you need to start making these fights. The Al Heyman plan is not working for you. And I promise you, he damn near did everything I said in that video. The business of boxing, the A side. Go check it out. So that brings us to now. The options have ran dry for Errol Spence, right? At the what is it? His Frank Martin. Sorry about that. At the Frank Martin fight, Errol Spence says, "I have options." Okay, and then guys like Fondor gets knocked the fuck out, right? And then we hear in the background that Canelo Alvarez turned down that deal, and the same deal he ended up signing now. So it was either Errol was gonna fight one of his mandatories, and I'm talking about for a fraction of what he would get for fighting Terence Crawford. Or he'll say fucking and fight Terence Crawford. Even if Errol went up and fought Charlo, that's not a big enough. That fight's not the size of the Terence Crawford fight. This is a money move, right? That's what this is. Errol understands, hey, Al, I respect you. You know, you probably like an uncle to me, you know, second father, what have you. Hey, I'm gonna have to buck back on this one. And again, I'm not making that up. Errol said that. Errol claimed he sat out until he got Terence Crawford. So obviously there was some pushback on that fight. We heard Steven Espinoza talking about maybe giving some extra money for the Keith Thurman fight. Errol ain't stupid. Right? If I'm gonna have to fight all these mandatories, you telling me that I'm in line to fight Boots for a pay cut? I have to fight Jerron Boots and it's for a fucking pay cut. No. Give me Terence Crawford. That's why we're getting this fight. We're getting this fight because it makes too much sense. And Errol Spence has came around to understanding it now that his options have ran out. Right? The only other big fight that they could have made would probably be Sebastian Fondor, and he gets knocked the fuck out. And shortly after he gets knocked out, fight gets announced. So, and he said he gave Terence Crawford some more money. You know, so he went from having options at the back of Frank Martin fight to this is the only fight I want. And I even had to give Terence Crawford some more money, more than what the business people said. Of course you did. So, again, if Errol didn't duck Terence Crawford, because we are getting the fight now, he damn sure bobbed and weaved him. And unless Crawford signs some sort of NDA that says, look, man, you cannot call me a duck. You cannot talk about my team or anything like that, avoiding this fight. Because it's been kind of weird. Like, I think Stephen A asked him, hey, man, what took the fight so long? And, it don't matter. The fight is here now. Like, Crawford been kind of avoiding that question. So unless you're contractually obligated to not talk about that, if you believe that Errol Spence would have fought you had that well not ran dry at PBC and they didn't have some more welterweights to throw at him, you're out of your mind. The only reason you're not fighting Alex Rocha is because Sebastian Fondor got knocked out and Errol hates Keith Thurman. I'm out.